Samantha Winters checked her ship's systems one more time. The small patrol vessel hummed as it glided through the darkness of space. Stars glittered against the black void outside her viewport. This edge of human space was quiet, just how she liked it. ESD Valiant to command. Sector 47 is clear. Moving to Sector 48, Sam said into her comm. Static crackled before a voice responded. Command to Valiant. Acknowledged. Complete your sweep and return to base. Sam adjusted her course. 6 years as a pilot in the Earth Space Defense Force had taught her to trust her instincts. Something felt off today. The sensors showed nothing, but the hairs on her neck stood up. She tapped the scanner controls again. Still nothing. Maybe she was just tired. The first blast hit without warning. Red lights flashed across her control panel. The ship lurched violently. Mayday. Mayday. This is ESD Valiant under attack. Sam shouted as she fought with the controls. Her fingers flew across the panels, trying to restore power to the engines. The second blast knocked out her weapons. The third took out her engines. Her ship drifted helplessly in space. Through the viewport, Sam saw a massive vessel appearing as if from nowhere. It was unlike any ship she had seen before. Angular, with strange protrusions and a dark metal hull that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Unknown vessel, this is Lieutenant Samantha Winters of the Earth Space Defense Force. Identify yourself, she demanded, even as fear knotted in her stomach. No response came through her comm. Instead, a bright light enveloped her ship. The controls went dead under her fingers. Sam reached for her sidearm, but her vision blurred. The cabin seemed to spin around her. Her last thought before darkness took her was that she should have listened to her instincts. When Sam woke up, cold metal pressed against her back. Her head pounded. She tried to move her arms, but restraints held her wrists and ankles. Panic surged through her body before training took over. She forced herself to breathe slowly and assess her situation. The room was small and bare, with gray metal walls. A single light glowed from the ceiling. The air smelled sterile, with an odd underlying scent she couldn't place. A door slid open. 2 tall, thin figures entered. Their skin was pale blue, with ridges where eyebrows should be. They wore identical black uniforms with symbols Sam didn't recognize. The human is awake, one said in a harsh, clicking language that somehow translated in her mind. Prepare it for transport. Where am I? Sam demanded. Why have you attacked an Earth vessel? They ignored her questions. One pressed a device against her neck. Pain shot through her body, then numbness spread from her head to her toes. The restraints released. Sam tried to fight, but her limbs wouldn't respond properly. The aliens lifted her easily and carried her from the room. They moved through corridors filled with other aliens escorting prisoners of various species. Some walked on their own, while others were carried or dragged like Sam. All wore vacant expressions that sent chills down her spine. They brought her to a large holding area packed with dozens of beings. The guards dropped her onto the floor and left. Slowly, feeling returned to Sam's body. She pushed herself up and looked around. First time being captured by Vraxians, a voice spoke from beside her. Sam turned to see a green-skinned being with 4 arms folded across its chest. I'm from Earth, Sam said. Why did they take me? The alien laughed without humor. Wrong place, wrong time. The Vraxians take what they want. We're headed to Vrax Null now. What's Vrax Null? The most secure prison in the galaxy. No one escapes. Not ever. The alien's eyes darkened. Once you enter, you belong to the Warden until you die. Sam looked around at the defeated faces of the other prisoners. Through a small viewport, she could see stars streaking by as the ship traveled at impossible speeds. In the distance, a massive asteroid came into view. Structures jutted from its surface like metal thorns. Vrax Null, someone whispered fearfully. Sam straightened her back. She was a soldier of Earth. Whatever happened next, she would face it with courage. The prison loomed larger through the viewport. Their destination, their future, their tomb. The prison ship docked with a hard clang. Guards shouted orders as they herded prisoners into lines. Sam stood with her back straight, watching everything. She counted guards, noted exits, and tried to memorize the path they took. "Move, human," a guard growled, shoving her forward. The prisoners shuffled through a series of metal corridors. They passed through scanners that hummed as they walked through. Ahead, aliens in white coats waited with devices in their hands. Processing. The green four-armed alien whispered to Sam, "They will mark you, make you one of theirs." Sam wanted to ask more, but guards separated them. A white-coated Vraxian grabbed her arm and pulled her to a metal table. "Stay still," it ordered. The alien pressed a device against the back of Sam's neck. Pain shot through her spine. She bit her lip to keep from screaming. "Neural inhibitor implanted," the alien said to another. "Subject shows higher than average resistance." The second alien made a note. "The Warden will want to know." They shoved Sam toward another line of processed prisoners. Her neck throbbed where they had implanted the device. She felt strange, like her thoughts were moving through mud. The line moved slowly. Sam noticed that all the prisoners now had the same dull look in their eyes. She forced herself to appear the same. Whatever they had put in her neck, she wouldn't let it control her mind. Finally, they entered a massive chamber. The ceiling rose so high that Sam couldn't see the top. Guards lined the walls. At the center stood a raised platform. A door slid open on the platform. The prisoners fell silent. A tall figure stepped out. He was Vraxian, but unlike the others. Half his face was metal. One eye glowed red. His right arm was entirely mechanical. When he spoke, his voice boomed through the chamber. "I am Warden's Rekthar. This is Vrax Null. Your new home. Your final home." The Warden paced across the platform, looking down at the new prisoners. "You no longer have rights. You no longer have names. You are property of the Vraxian Empire now." His red eye scanned the crowd. It stopped on Sam. He pointed at her. "The human. Bring her here." Guards grabbed Sam and dragged her to the platform. They forced her to her knees before the Warden. Up close, she could hear the whir of machinery inside his body. Zrekthar circled her slowly. "Interesting. A military human. We don't get many of your kind." Sam stared straight ahead, showing no fear. "I've contained 412 species in my prison," the Warden said. "None have escaped. Your species' reputation for ingenuity means nothing here." He bent down until his face was level with hers. His breath smelled like metal. "I look forward to breaking you, human." Sam said nothing. The Warden straightened and waved the guards away. "Take them all to their cells." The guards led Sam through more corridors. She counted turns. Left, right, right, left. They passed through security barriers where guards scanned their eyes. Finally, they reached a cell block. The sign read Block D in Vraxian symbols. Sam had learned their language during her military training. A guard shoved her into a small cell. The door slid shut with a hiss. Sam looked around. 2 beds, a toilet, a sink. One bed was already occupied. A thin insect-like creature looked up from a small device it was tinkering with. It quickly hid the device under its mattress. "New cellmate," it chittered. "I am Kesrit, engineer, 3 years here." Sam Winters, Earth Defense Force. Kesrit's antennae twitched. "Human. Interesting. Not many humans here." Sam sat on the empty bed. Her neck still hurt from the implant. "What was that thing they put in us?" she asked. "Neural dampener. Controls aggressive thoughts. Makes prisoners docile." Kesrit tapped its own neck. "Mine doesn't work well. I fixed it. They don't know." Sam touched her neck. "Can you fix mine?" Kesrit's mandibles clicked in what might have been a smile. "Perhaps. But dangerous. Guards watch. Warden watches." Sam leaned closer. What can you tell me about this place? The security? The warden? Kisrit studied her for a long moment. You think of escape. Impossible. No one escapes Vrax Newell. There's always a first time, Sam said quietly. Kisrit chittered softly. Brave human. Foolish human. It glanced at the cell door to make sure no guards were passing. I will tell you what I know. But not now. Cameras watch. Microphones listen. Sam nodded. She lay back on her bed, staring at the ceiling. The implant made her head fuzzy, but she fought against it. She would learn this prison. She would find its weaknesses. And somehow, someday, she would escape. 3 months passed in Vrax Newell. Sam learned the prison's routines. Wake at the sound of the alarm. Eat the gray food paste. Work in the laundry facility. Return to the cell. Sleep. Repeat. The neural implant made each day foggy. But Sam had discovered something strange. Each morning, she felt clearer than the night before. Her mind fought against the implant's effects. Kisrit had noticed too. Humans have different brain structure. Kisrit explained one night, speaking in whispers. Implant works less on you. Very interesting. Sam had mapped as much of the prison as she could. She knew about the guard rotations, the camera blind spots, and the weaknesses in the security doors. But she kept this knowledge to herself, acting like any other broken prisoner. Today was different. As Sam folded prison uniforms in the laundry, a male human approached her. He was tall with a shaved head and a scar across his cheek. She had seen him before, but never spoken to him. Maintenance closet. 5 minutes, he whispered as he passed by. Sam watched him walk away. It could be a trap. But her curiosity won out. 5 minutes later, she slipped away from her station. When the guards changed shifts, she found the maintenance closet and entered quickly. The man was inside, along with 2 other prisoners, a female human with short blonde hair and a blue-skinned alien with 4 eyes. Samantha Winters, the man said. I'm Jack Perry. Been watching you. Why? Sam asked, keeping her voice low. You're mapping the place, looking for ways out. Jack smiled. We've been doing the same. For years. The woman stepped forward. I'm Olivia Grant, biologist. This is Core. The blue alien nodded but didn't speak. There are more of us, Jack continued. An underground network. We share information, resources. Sam stayed near the door, ready to run. Why tell me? Because you're different, Olivia said. Most prisoners give up after a few weeks. You've been here 3 months and you're still fighting. Jack leaned closer. And because you're human, like us. He pulled up his sleeve, showing a small device attached to his wrist. This disrupts the neural implant. Not completely, but enough to think clearly. Took us 2 years to develop. We have more, Olivia said. We can give you one. Sam studied their faces. What do you want in return? Jack smiled. Smart. Trust should be earned. He looked at the others. Show her. Soar pulled out a small data pad from inside his uniform. He tapped it, and a hologram appeared. Diagrams of prison sections Sam had never seen. Lower levels, Jack explained, where they take prisoners who never come back. The hologram showed labs, surgical rooms, and cells different from the regular prison. The warden isn't just keeping us here, Olivia said, her voice bitter. He's using us, experimenting on us. For what? Sam asked. Weapons, Jack said. Biological weapons. They're studying different species to develop weapons that target specific races. Sam felt cold, including humans. Jack nodded. Especially humans. Earth has been a thorn in the Vraxian Empire's side for too long. We need someone like you, Olivia said. Someone with military training. Someone who understands strategy. There's more, Jack added. We have a friend. Alien. Telepathic species. The implants don't block his abilities completely. He can communicate between cell blocks. Sam thought for a moment. It seemed too good to be true, but if it was real, even if what you're saying is true, she said, no one has ever escaped Vrax Null. Jack grinned. No one had the right team before. The door clicked. Someone was coming. Meet us tomorrow. Same time, Jack whispered. They scattered. Sam returned to her station just before a guard walked by. That night, Sam lay in her cell, thinking about Jack's group. If they were telling the truth, there was hope. If it was a trap, she could be walking into her death. Kisrit watched her from the other bed. You met them, it said suddenly. Sam sat up. You know about them. I fix things. I hear things. Kisrit's antennae twitched. They are real. Dangerous, but real. Can they be trusted? Kisrit was quiet for a moment. No one can be fully trusted here. But their cause is true. Sam made her decision. Tomorrow, she would join the underground. She would fight back. And somehow, someday, she would not just escape. She would bring down Warden Zrekthar and his entire prison. A week after joining the underground, Sam received new work orders. The guards moved her from laundry duty to maintenance in the lower levels. This was exactly what they needed. It's perfect, Jack said during their secret meeting. Now you can see the labs for yourself. Sam nodded. I start tomorrow. Be careful, Olivia warned. The lower levels have more guards, more cameras. And worse things, added Exor, his 4 eyes blinking nervously. Sam touched the small device on her wrist, hidden under her sleeve. It kept her mind clear from the neural implants effects. She felt stronger than she had in months. The next day, guards escorted Sam to the lower levels. The elevator went down for what seemed like forever. The air grew colder, the lighting dimmer. Everything smelled like chemicals. A guard handed her a mop and bucket. Clean everything. Don't look in the rooms. Don't talk to anyone. Sam kept her head down as she mopped, but her eyes sought everything. She counted steps between security doors. She noted the patterns of the guards. She studied the camera placements. As she cleaned near a large metal door, she heard screams from inside. Terrible, pain-filled screams. Then silence. The door opened. A Vraxian in a white coat stepped out. Behind him, Sam glimpsed a room with tables. Bodies strapped down. Machines pumping fluids into them. One of the bodies wasn't moving anymore. Clean in here, the Vraxian ordered, not even looking at her. Sam entered the room, fighting to keep her face blank. The smell hit her first. Blood, chemicals, and death. 5 beings were strapped to tables. 3 were already dead. 1 was barely breathing. The last one, a blue-skinned female, stared at Sam with pleading eyes. Sam mopped the floor, moving closer to the living prisoner. As she passed, the alien whispered one word. Kill. Whether she meant kill me or kill them, Sam didn't know. She finished cleaning and left, her hands shaking with anger. That night, she told the others what she had seen. The experiments are getting worse, Jack said. They're preparing for something big. We need to find out what, Olivia said. I can help with that, said a soft voice. Sam turned to see a thin, pale alien with large eyes and no visible mouth. She hadn't noticed him enter the maintenance closet where they met. This is Elian, Jack explained. The telepath I told you about. Elian bowed slightly. I have touched the minds of the Vraxian scientists. They guard their thoughts well, but I have glimpsed their plans. The group leaned closer as Elian continued. They have developed a weapon that targets human DNA, a virus that will kill all humans but leave other species unharmed. Sam felt cold. When? The first test is scheduled for next week, a small human mining colony. We need to stop them, Olivia said. Jack nodded. We will, but we need more information. Elian turned to Sam. There is something else, something about you. Sam frowned. What do you mean? Your capture was not random. The Warden ordered it specifically. Your name was on a list. Why me? Sam asked. I don't know yet, but the Warden keeps records in his private quarters. All the information about the experiments, the weapons, the targets. It's all there. Jack looked at Sam. Can you get access to the Warden's quarters? No, Sam said. But I can get access to the power systems for that section, if I could cause a lockdown. A door slammed somewhere outside their meeting place. They all froze. Someone's coming, Exor whispered. Through the crack in the door, Sam saw Sub-Commander Vex, the Warden's second-in-command, walking with 2 guards. They suspect something, Jack whispered. We need to go. They slipped out one by one. Sam was last. As she stepped into the corridor, she came face to face with Vex. Prisoner 8717, Vex said coldly. What are you doing out of your cell block? Sam's mind raced for an excuse. Sir, I was looking for cleaning supplies. I have early duty tomorrow. Vex stared at her with his cybernetic eye. It whirred as it focused. Report to security for questioning. Sam knew what that meant. Torture. Truth drugs. Their plans would be discovered. She had to act now. Sam knew she had seconds to act. As the guards moved toward her, she let her mop handle drop to the floor. It rolled between the guard's feet. The first guard stumbled. Sam used the moment to strike. Her fist connected with Vex's throat. The sub-commander gasped and fell back. Sam grabbed his shock baton and swung it at the second guard. The weapon buzzed with energy as it hit him. He dropped to the floor, twitching. Alarms blared through the corridor. Red lights flashed. Sam ran. All prisoners returned to cells. Security breach in Section 7. A voice announced over the speakers. Sam knew she couldn't return to her cell now. They would be waiting for her. She needed a new plan. She ran toward the maintenance tunnels. Few guards went there because of the dangerous machinery. As she turned a corner, she crashed into Jack. They're after me, she gasped. Jack pulled her into a narrow service tunnel. I know a place. Follow me. They crawled through dusty passages. The sounds of boots and alarms grew distant. Finally, they emerged in a small room filled with old machine parts. Old storage, Jack explained. Cameras don't work here. Olivia and Exor were waiting. So was Elian, his large eyes worried. They'd locked down the whole prison, Olivia said. They're searching everywhere. It's my fault, Sam said. I attacked Vex. You had no choice, Jack said. But this changes everything. We need to move now, not next week. Move? How? Sam asked. We're not ready. Jack smiled grimly. We're more ready than you think. He kicked aside some junk, revealing a metal crate. Inside were crude weapons made from prison tools and stolen parts. We've been preparing for years, he said, just waiting for the right moment. And the right person, Olivia added, looking at Sam. Sor opened a small device. A hologram of the prison appeared. I hacked into security systems, he said. Created backdoor. Can trigger cell releases in all blocks. A prison riot, Sam said, understanding their plan. A distraction, Jack corrected. While everyone fights, we go for the Warden's command center. How many are with us? Sam asked. 23 in other blocks, Jack said. Ready to fight when doors open. Elian stepped forward. I have contacted others of my kind. We will coordinate the blocks. Sam thought for a moment. It was risky. Many would die. But if they did nothing, billions of humans would die when the Phraxians released their weapon. When do we start? She asked. The night cycle, Jack said. When guard shift changes. Olivia opened a small case. Inside were injectors filled with blue liquid. This counteracts the neural implants, she explained. Temporary effect. 4 hours at most. She handed one to Sam. For you. Others get theirs when it starts. Sam took the injector. What about the Warden? He'll have security we can't imagine. Jack looked serious. That's why we need you. Military training. Combat skills. I can't fight him alone. Sam said. He's half machine. You won't fight alone, Jack promised, but you need to get to them. Zor showed her another hologram detailed plans of the Warden's quarters and command center. Security systems, door codes, air ducts, Zor explained. All here. Sam studied the plans. There was a way in through the ventilation system. Tight, but possible. I can do it, she said. There's more, Elian said softly. The Warden's cybernetic head contains a neural link. It controls the entire prison. If removed, the systems shut down, Sam finished. Or can be controlled, Jack added, including the doors to the landing bay. For the first time since her capture, Sam felt real hope. They had a chance. Small, but real. Olivia checked a timer. 2 hours until night cycle. We should prepare. They divided the weapons, memorized routes, planned meeting points. If we fail, Jack said quietly to Sam, the Vraxians will make us wish we were dead. Sam nodded. If we fail, billions die anyway. She injected the blue liquid into her neck. It burned at first, then her mind cleared completely. Every sense became sharper, every thought crystal clear. Somewhere above them, Warden's Rekthar sat in his command center, unaware that his perfect prison was about to explode from within. The prison lights dimmed as night cycle began. Sam checked her makeshift weapon one last time. A metal pipe with a sharpened end. Not much against the Warden's cybernetics, but it would have to do. Ready? Jack whispered. Sam nodded. Everyone took their positions. Zor's fingers moved quickly over his stolen device. 3, 2, 1, now. Across the prison, cell doors slid open. Alarms blared instantly. Through the walls, Sam heard shouts and running feet. It's working, Olivia said. Go. Jack led a group toward Block A to help free more prisoners. Olivia and Exor headed for the control room to disable more security systems. Elian stayed behind to coordinate through his telepathy. Sam crawled into the air duct. It was tighter than she expected. The metal pressed against her shoulders as she inched forward. She followed the path they had memorized from Zor's maps. Left at the third junction, right at the next. Straight past 2 more. Below her, chaos spread through the prison. Guards shouted orders. Prisoners yelled in dozens of languages. Weapons fired. The perfect distraction. Sam reached the duct above the Warden's quarters. Through the grate, she saw an empty room with expensive furnishings. The Warden wasn't there. She carefully removed the grate and dropped silently to the floor. The room was larger than her entire cell block. Displays covered one wall, showing different areas of the prison. Sam could see prisoners fighting guards in several sections. A door on the far side slid open. Sam hid behind a large chair. Security to command level. The Warden's voice boomed. Lock down all sections. Release nerve gas in blocks A through C. Sam peeked around the chair. The Warden stood with his back to her, facing the displays. His cybernetic arm operated controls at incredible speed. His metal head gleamed in the low light. Sir, that will kill half the prisoners. Another voice responded over the comm. Acceptable losses, the Warden said coldly. The experiments are what matter. Sam gripped her weapon and moved forward slowly. One chance. She needed to hit the junction between his metal head and his neck. She raised the pipe, but as she stepped forward, her foot hit a small table. It fell with a crash. The Warden spun around. His red eye locked onto her. Prisoner 8717, he said. I should have terminated you when you arrived. His mechanical arm transformed, the hand retracting and revealing a weapon. Sam dodged as energy blasted from his arm. The chair behind her exploded into flames. She rolled behind a metal desk as he fired again. Your human friends will all die, Rekthar said, moving toward her. The ones here, and the billions on your colonies. You won't release that weapon, Sam said, trying to keep him talking while she looked for an opening. The Warden laughed, a horrible mechanical sound. It's already done. The transport left an hour ago. The first colony will be infected within days. Sam felt cold fear. They were too late. Why do you hate humans so much? She asked, moving slowly around the desk. Your species is a disease in this galaxy, he said. You spread, you consume, you destroy. We've studied you long enough to know you must be eradicated. He fired again, melting part of the desk. Sam jumped away, closer to the control panel. An idea came to her. The neural link. Elian had said it connected the Warden to the prison systems. Sam lunged for the control panel. Her fingers found the emergency override. The Warden fired, hitting her shoulder. Pain exploded through her body, but she managed to hit the button. Sirens blared. The lights went out. Then emergency lighting bathed everything in red. System override. Security protocols disabled. A mechanical voice announced. The Warden roared in anger. His cybernetic parts stuttered as the system reset. His red eye flickered. Sam saw her chance. She charged forward and swung her weapon with all her strength. The sharpened pipe hit the junction between metal and flesh. The Warden screamed, a sound both human and machine. His mechanical body convulsed. Sam pulled the pipe free and struck again. And again. The Warden fell to his knees, his systems failing. His red eye dimmed. No one escapes, he whispered. Sam raised her weapon one final time. I will, she said. The Warden's cybernetic head came free with a spray of wires and fluid. Sam stood over his body, breathing hard. Blood ran down her arm from where his weapon had hit her, but the wound wasn't deep. She examined the head in her hands. It was heavier than she expected. Lights still blinked inside it. The neural link was still active. Sam turned to the control panel. Using the Warden's head, she accessed the prison systems. Security doors opened across all levels. Weapon systems shut down. Prison transport ships in the docking bay unlocked. She found the communication system and sent a message to all human outposts within range. She included data about the biological weapon and the transport carrying it. Then she downloaded all the evidence of the Vraxian experiments into the Warden's head. The whole prison shook. An explosion somewhere below. Sam needed to move quickly. She left the Warden's quarters and ran through corridors now filled with fighting. Guards fired at her, but other prisoners blocked their way. Sam clutched the metal head to her chest and kept running. At a junction, she found Jack fighting two guards. His face was bloody, but he smiled when he saw her. You did it, he shouted over the noise. We need to get to the ships, Sam yelled back. The weapon is already on its way to Earth colonies. Jack nodded and spoke into a small device. All teams to docking bay. They fought their way through more corridors. The prison structure groaned around them. More explosions shook the floors. What's happening? Sam asked as they ran. Olivia reached the reactor, Jack explained. She's overloading it. This whole place will be gone soon. Finally, they'd reached the docking bay. Olivia was already there with Exor and several other prisoners. They had secured a small transport ship. Elian? Sam asked, looking around. Jack's face fell. He didn't make it. Gave his life to help others escape. Sam felt a pang of sadness but kept moving. They boarded the ship as more prisoners poured into the bay. We can't take everyone, Olivia said, looking at the controls. We'll take as many as we can, Sam replied. Get the engines started. Exor worked the controls while Sam and Jack helped more prisoners aboard. The ship was meant for 20 people. They packed in 60. The docking bay doors were still closed. Sam connected the Warden's head to the ship's systems. The neural link interfaced with the prison controls. The massive doors slowly opened. More guards coming. Someone shouted. We need to go now, Olivia urged. Sam looked back at the prisoners still trying to reach the ship. Get us as close to the door as possible. We'll take more. The ship hovered near the exit. More prisoners jumped aboard. Guards fired at them from across the bay. A massive explosion rocked the prison. Fire burst from corridors. The ceiling began to collapse. "Now," Sam ordered. "Go." Sor pushed the engines to full power. The ship shot out of the bay into open space. Behind them, the prison erupted in flames. The asteroid began to break apart. In the crowded ship, Sam looked down at the Warden's head. Its lights were fading, but the data inside was intact. Evidence of the Vraxians' plans. Proof of their crimes. "Setting course for the nearest human outpost," Kaxor announced. Sam moved to the front of the ship, still carrying the head. Through the viewport, she watched as Vrax Knoll, the inescapable prison, collapsed into dust. 3 days later, their damaged ship was intercepted by an Earth Defense Force vessel that had received Sam's message. As the survivors were transferred aboard, the human captain stared in shock at what Sam carried. "Is that?" he began. "The Warden's head," Jack confirmed, "contains everything you need to stop the weapon transport." "But how did you escape?" the captain asked. "That prison was supposed to be inescapable." Jack smiled and nodded toward Sam, who stood holding the cybernetic head. "We took the key with us," she said simply. Later, as the ship headed for Earth, Sam stood in the observation room, watching the stars. Jack joined her. "What will you do now?" he asked. Sam thought about the prisoners they'd saved, the ones they'd lost, and the billions more who would live because of what they'd done. "First, make sure this evidence reaches the right people," she said, nodding to the Warden's head. "Then," she smiled for what felt like the first time in ages, "then I'm going home."